hope that it helps. Let's do the introduction real quick. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget to subscribe. It costs you nothing to do that. Don't forget we have the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to that. It costs you nothing to do that. We have the books, the movies. We have all the things. So I greatly appreciate it when you support and for sharing. So let's go into. So I missed you guys yesterday, um, but we're ready for today. So today I want to talk about. I want to talk about. Good morning, Margaret. I want to talk about desperately seeking. And if you're old like me, you thought about desperately seeking Susan and Madonna, right? But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, I want to talk about us desperately seeking the bad, us desperately seeking struggle and strife. And I want to give you an example, and I want you to tell me if you can relate to that. So, I want you to tell me if you can relate and if it makes sense to you. Because again, this is something that is simple, but because it is, we don't. You like JoJo. It's not that way, and it really is. So, good morning, Margaret or JoJo. How are you doing? Fine. That's good. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I can't complain. I say that. I say that. So, JoJo, what happened? How are you doing today? I'm having a bad day. Let me tell you. This person got on my nerves. This happened. I got angry about this. I got mad about this, and this, and this. And I knew I read something about somebody getting killed somewhere. I finally found, I had to search for a couple of hours, but I finally found it on the bottom of the page on this website. Girl, I had to look all over Facebook, but I found it. And let me tell you, JoJo, how you doing today? Fine. Can't complain. JoJo, how you doing today? Girl, people made me so mad. Let me tell you. So in our daily conversation, when we have the opportunity to express our fine or our good, we don't. We instead explicitly express our bad. And not only do we explicitly express it, we desperately seek to explain it. I like that. We desperately seek it to the point where we need to make sure that we give every detail about the bad thing and none of the details of the good thing. Right, Margaret? And I had a conversation about that last night. Margaret reminded me to tell you about it. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. Girl, I'm fine. I'm okay. But when they asked me something bad, I had so much detail, it was unreal. And sometimes we are desperately seeking the bad and never acknowledging the good. And so just for today, just for this moment, just for this 20 minutes, you desperately sought something that was good. So when I say, hey, Margaret, how are you doing? Margaret gives me a laundry list of all the great things that is happening. Did y'all know Margaret wrote a book? Did you know Margaret is on a book tour? Do you know she has meet and greets in person? She'll even have Dine with Margaret so you can talk about her book and ask you questions about your career. Did you know Margaret is your HR professional? Yes, we know all the things. But are we desperately seeking the good or are we desperately highlighting the bad? So when somebody says to you today, JoJo, how are you doing? Fine. I'm going to say how I'm feeling. Good morning, Shakira. So, good morning. How are you doing? I'm fine. Good morning. How are you doing? Girl, these people get on my last nerves. And then you seek to list out all the bad things that this person, place, or thing has done to you. But you didn't, in saying, I'm fine, list out all the things that's fine about you. Girl, I woke up this morning, I'm fine. Girl, I found my outfit. I like this color on me. Traffic was good. Girl, I'm fine. Did you go through, were you desperately seeking to help explain why you were okay? Or were you desperately seeking to explain why you were not? And I found myself doing that yesterday. And it made me think this morning that are we desperately seeking bad unconsciously? So I'm also mindful of when I talk to my friends and all of our conversation is to complain. Girl, this is crazy, honey. This is crazy. Could I not spend that same now listen, there are times when we need those conversations to get things off our chest. But should it be my everyday conversation? Right, Margaret. Margaret says she looks amazing. I know you do, Margaret. I'm going to see you too. But are we intentionally saying the fine things that are going on in our life? I'm fine. Think about this in terms of relationships too. Lesson learned here. Am I always desperately seeking the bad? Am I always desperately on the lookout for something crazy? That shit's exhausting. There's a difference between being aware and desperately seeking it out. So then we are honoring our limitations by saying, oh, I knew that was right. I knew that was right. Good morning, Tammy. So what are we desperately seeking? What are you desperately highlighting, consciously or unconsciously? So the practice today is, good morning. How are you doing today? I'm fine. I need you to elaborate on the fine section. And when you're having that bad day, how was your day today? Instead of saying, man, it was the worst day ever, let me tell you. And then you can tell me down to the detail of when they pause, how they move their hands, as Margaret say, the color that they had on. If you can tell me all the details of that, but you can't tell me the good details of your day was fine, tell me what mode you just filled. So if I am never destroys, I am only creates. And when I am creates, it creates a mode, and we feel the mode consciously or unconsciously, and we got to be conscious of our pathway. Then what mode am I feeling? Am I desperately seeking the bad? Am I desperately highlighting it? Absolutely, they do, Margaret. People desperately, they disappear to avoid that dump on people. Right, pick a better word than I'm fine. And I think as women, as Black women, or as women, period, especially Black women, it is ingrained in us not to glorify or be proud of our accomplishments and who we are. Don't be brag. Don't be boastful, JoJo. That's not nice. I worked hard for this. I'm going to be proud of what I am and who I am and what the work I've done. If you don't want to, that's a conversation for you, not a conversation for me. So as we're desperately seeking, whatever you're desperately seeking in your conversation, in your relationships, whatever it is, as you are setting that tone, and as you're, let me find something wrong, you're desperately seeking that thing. Right, Margaret, we don't settle. So when somebody says this morning, good morning, how are you? Or at the end of the day, how was your day? Instead of saying fine, talk about Give me the details of the good part of the day as much as you would give me the details about the bad part of the day. Because I can, when I'm on the phone with my girlfriend Tiffany, Tiffany, Tammy, Margaret, Shakira, whoever, I can give them the details of all the bad stuff. I can give them so much detail. It is if they are there with me. But when it comes to the good things, I shrug it off. Oh, it's fine. Jojo, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. You were featured in a magazine in the UK and it became the number one best cover. Oh, it was Jojo, did you? I'm so proud of you. You were in a movie with Tommy for Martin. Like, girl, oh, it was nothing. So you written 8 damn books, girl. It was nothing. And we desperately seek only to highlight the things that don't serve us. And I think we're taught at a young age to not be prideful, not be boastful. There's a difference between being that and being proud of your accomplishments. So on this good day, when somebody says, how was your day? Highlight the good instead of the bad. If you find yourself, right, Shakira, it's hard, and then we shrug it off. Like, Jojo, this is your 3rd year doing a retreat. Yeah, okay. No, like you're doing a retreat. Do you? Yeah, I did a retreat. But do you understand? And we don't highlight it. And I want to give y'all um, the definition of humble. Because I don't know if I like it. It's showing or having a low estimate of myself. Being humble is having a low estimate of me. Is that how you want to describe you? Is that how you want to? Is that how you really want to be? Right. I was the keynote speaker in Tampa Bay, the Empowerment Summit. I was the keynote speaker in Curacao. So now we can add international speaker to the list. We have done the things, but in our low estimate of ourselves, we never say those things. And we are taught that from the beginning of life. And so you have an identity crisis. Remember, we talked about that. We have an identity crisis when we're growing and moving and going through things. And we say we want to be humble. And being humble is not going to serve you. Thank you, Margaret. And they did. And I think we forget that. So whatever we're desperately seeking, we're going to always highlight, we're going to focus on, and we're going to fill that mold. Right. Good morning, Joshua. So I'm going to fill that mold. So this morning, practice saying to somebody, how are you today? And if they say it back to you, or if when you say it to them and they say, girl, I'm just fine, tell them, please elaborate on the fine. What does that mean? Tell me about the good stuff that's going on in your life. And here's the thing. This is what I struggle with. When people, like I was on the phone with my good friend Michelle from Virginia. Me and Michelle have been friends since Rosie was like 1 or 2. And Rosie's about to be 18. She said, Joe, tell me, she calls me Jobina. Jobina, tell me about the good stuff going on in your life. And as I'm telling her about the good stuff that's going on in my life, I start to feel bad that I have all of this good stuff going on in my life. And so I stop. And I say, girl, I can't complain. Life is good. But she gave me the space to do that. Be safe, Margaret. She gave me the space to say those things. Just like I gave her the space. Michelle, tell me the good stuff that's going on in your life. And I gave her all the space, honey. I celebrated her. I did all the things. I was proud of her. But when it came to me, I didn't. So whatever we're desperately seeking is what we're going to have. Insert relationships. When you are desperately seeking for somebody, let me be aware, because this person may hurt me. They will. Let me be aware that it's not going to work. It will. Let me be aware that it just don't feel like it didn't give what it should have gave. It don't feel like it should have felt. It will. It will give you the desires of your heart. Your words will give you the desires of your heart. Your words will give you the desires of your heart. I got to write that down. And as they give that to you, you created that mold and you're feeling it. So on this great day, yes, Margaret, we downplay ourselves. On this great day, when somebody says, how you doing today? And you go into, girl or man, let me tell you how these people treated me up in here. Let me tell you how she tried to talk to me, and don't let me tell the story, honey. Then out the left, here come this person, and straight ahead was this person, and to my back was this, and she had on this, and she said this, this, and this, and this, and she did this, and I'm about to give you the highlights of all the bad things. I'm not going to miss nothing. But when you ask me how I'm doing and I say fine, why don't I do the same? Yes, they do have power. It is called spelling for a word. So today I encourage you not to be humble, because we do not have a low estimate of ourselves. I'm going to give you guys the definition one more time. Because if we continue to have a low estimate of ourselves, it is very easy for someone else to have that same outlook for us. It is easy for us to adapt to it then. It is easy for somebody to say, well, I don't think you've done this right, and I don't think this about you, and you will accept it because in your humble, low estimate of your own self, that's how you felt. So we're not going to be humble today, okay? We're not. It's not how it's going to work. We're going to have the most amazing day ever. We're going to be peaceful, period, because there's nothing after that. We're going to find another definition for humble, because that ain't it. I don't have a low estimate of myself. I want you to pay attention to what you're desperately seeking today. Okay? What are you desperately seeking today? So on this great, most amazing day, I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's nothing after that. It is, Joshua, it is a spirit of desperation. There's nothing after that. Please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. It's going to be a good day. So when somebody says today, how are you? Don't say fine. Tell them how you really are. And then allow the same space for them. I love you too, Joshua. So you guys have the most amazing day. And today is Friday. I will see you guys here bright and early on Monday morning. Have a good one.